Yo, what's up, and welcome to Ditty Deep Dive. This is the live stream where we bring on an artist and dive deep into their ditties. Hey. Those are their songs, in case you were wondering. We have, well, first, I guess I gotta say, hi, I'm Justin. I'm your host and captain of the Streamboat, the place that brings us to you every Saturday live. And we do have the finest crew upon the high seas, but we'll get to them very shortly. First, let's get to why you're most likely here. The man of the hour. We have a dude who just shreds it up on guitar. He's a poet with a pen that bites. He, let me get this right, is a greaser rumble smeared with Prost Gonzo grit, at least the sound of it. Benjamin J. Davidow, Gas Hound. Let's give it up.
All right. Hey, thanks for having me on the Ditty Deep Dive. We go to deep into the waters here. And, yeah, we'll just kick this party off with a song called All Very Well. Thanks for tuning in. Sitting around the ballroom, picking needles out of a pinstripe suit, raising a glass to Raising Cane, selling pieces of American dreams, selling pieces of a dream. Chasing down numbers in leather-bound libraries who didn't sleep all summer, racing to get a house on the hill, racing to get up the hill. And it's all very well, the edge of a ledge of other people's insecurities. Yeah, other people's insecurities. Putting up glass doors to keep out friends, keep an eye on the government. Putting up fires just to bottle them up and drink them down. Bottle and drink them up. And it's all very well losing control. Short everything, willing to sell. So very well losing control. Short everything, willing to sell. Selling piece of American dreams, selling piece of a dream, racing to get a house on the hill, racing to get up the hill, pushing papers over the edge of a ledge of other people's insecurities, putting out fires just to bottle them up, bottle and drink them up. It's all very well losing control. Sold everything, willing to sell. So losing control. Sold everything, willing to sell. So sold everything, willing to sell. Sold everything, sold everything. Cool, thank you very much. So again, yeah, I'm Gas Hound. This is my main project, and I've flown all over the world playing songs for people. This next song called High Water Mark, I wrote when I was in the UK with a close friend of mine, Kyle Gordon. He was on the show, the Mama Bear, a little earlier.
Yeah.
And I wrote this for a friend of mine over there, our tour manager, Ian Marsh, and they have a beautiful promotional company called We Believe Promotion. So this one goes out to Ian.
Yeah.
Said you're giving up, you don't understand. You said you're giving up, you played your last hand. This is our high water mark. Can we go back to the start? This is our high water mark. Can we go back to the start? You said you're giving up, and you don't understand. You said you're giving up, it's all in the plan. This is our high water mark. Can we go back to the start? If this is our high water mark, can we go back to the start? to the start. This is our high water mark. Can we go back to the start? To the start.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, what is your kind of water park? You like a steep slide guy? You like the lazy river?
The twisty slides?
Yeah.
Extra, like the ice cold hose water though, so it kind of like wakes you up as you're going down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I like a deep spiral of any kind. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Spiraling into depression. That's the amusement part of the slide, right?
Right.
This next tune's called King of Fools. You said you wanted to leave. Packed your bags as you unpacked your troubled mind. Bought a bullet to keep a handle on the dark side. And who wouldn't have it any other way? Yesterday is a passing thought, and I would rather be a king of fools, a king of fools. Said you heard it on the silver screen, an actor read it in a dirty magazine. Bedroom advice at the bottom of a bottle. Right, and the suits flew south. They paid to watch him die, and who wouldn't have it any other way? Yesterday is a passing thought, and I would rather be a king of fools, a king of fools. They said you were a messenger of death's design, a golden messenger through space and time, and you're spinning out, you're strung out, you're spun out again. You are your only friend. How far will you bend before you break? How far before your body aches? How far will you bend before you break? How far before your body shakes? Who wouldn't have it any other way? Yesterday is a passing thought, and I would rather be a king of fools, a king of fools. I would rather be a king of fools.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Man, that's a banger, dude. The recording on Spotify, I mean, sure people can listen everywhere.
Yeah.
Is super good too. So it's super cool to hear that
Thank you.
acoustic version.
Yeah, it was a fun one to record. I recorded that with a close friend of mine, Chris Sampson, and we had a killer slide player, my friend Joseph Fall. He was wildly good. Which leads us into the next tune, which is the last song I just put out on Spotify.
Okay.
Both of these are up there if people want to check them out. This one's called Razor Blade Arcade.
Heck yeah, I love this one too.
Rave day, straight shave, razor blade arcade, smoke screen, latrine, passing notes at night. We ever get this right? Watchdog up for the fight, man. You and me were born to disagree. You and me deserve to be free, free.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
That song's hard.
Dude, for real.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
That song was sharp.
Yeah,
It's
that's sorry.
There's like a live version to that, or like a whole band version to that song.
Yeah, there's a full band version.
It's like a very ballady version on Spotify, though.
Yeah, I've done it a bunch of different ways. The one on Spotify was actually one that I mentioned Chris Sampson. We just did it on an afternoon on a Sunday. Just tracked every part back to back to back and filmed it, recorded it. They actually just played the music video and Now Dig This last night too, which was kind of cool.
Awesome.
To hear. So it's just like a video of us just making it in an afternoon in like a couple hours.
Oh, that's super cool.
But yeah, I've gotten
That's
to
dope.
play it and perform it a bunch of different ways.
No, that's some fun
Yeah.
shit, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. Hearing it that way was super cool because I've been diving deep on the like Spotify version.
Oh
That
yeah,
was-
it's like super spacey and
yeah,
yeah.
very piano. It's like a piano ballad almost. Like it's very
Yeah,
beautiful.
I like totally had to re-harmonize everything for piano that day because I'd never learned it on piano. So
Oh, really?
it's probably something like this, and that's what's on the recording.
Man, that's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
That
That's dope,
rendition
man.
was awesome, dude.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Well, I got a couple more here. Here's one called Holy Enemy. This one's not out yet. I was just working on it with another friend of mine, Takashi Takamura. He's a drummer for Mama Bear. He's killer good, and he's a killer good engineer. So hopefully we'll be getting that tune out soon.
Heck yeah.
And I'll talk more about that project with him later, too. We're doing a kind of cross-Atlantic, UK to US recording collaboration.
That sounds awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, this is Holy Enemy. You're my holy enemy, but you're my one and true lover. You're my holy enemy, but you're my one and true lover. When they take away all the things that make you feel okay, and you can't shoulder the weight, the day is done, it's getting late. Now you're hanging by a thread. The clock on the wall reads 10:30. And all you can do is keep driving through the night. And all you can do is keep driving through the night. Keep driving through the night. You're my holy enemy, but you're my one and true lover. You're my holy enemy, but you're my one and true lover. When they take away all the things that make you feel okay, and you can't shoulder the weight, the day is done, it's getting late. Now you're hanging by a thread. The clock on the wall reads 10:30. And all you can do is keep driving through the night. And all you can do is keep driving through the night. Keep driving through the night. Driving through the night. Driving through the night. Keep driving through the night. You're my holy enemy, but you're my one and true lover. You're my holy enemy, but you're my one and true lover. You're my holy enemy, but you're my one and true lover.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Man. It's fire. It's awesome, dude.
Another good one.
We need a little fire here in the Georgia winter. I'll tell you that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for heating it up down here.
Thanks, guys. Well, yeah, on to a tune called Knife. Originally, I've Got a Knife. And this one's also on Spotify. Yeah, here it
Is this the last guy?
This is the last tune that I prepared.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
so we're up on it.
Nice. Anybody watching? Hey, there's some questions in the chat, and we will ask.
I'll be happy to answer any questions you got.
Heck
Just
yeah.
let me know.
Do the Ditty Drop right after this.
All right, yeah, again, thanks for having me on the stream boat.
Heck yeah,
I'll
dude.
be
Thanks
with
for
the
being on
captain
it.
in just a moment. And,
We appreciate you.
Yeah, here's Knife. You can stream it wherever. I've got a knife. It doesn't sharpen well. I've got a knife. It's got a story to tell. shopping well. Eyes on heaven, a hand in hell can tell you that it should. I've got a knife, it doesn't sharpen well. I've got a knife, it's got a story to tell. Tell you, I can tell you. I got a knife, it doesn't sharpen well. But it's not what lightning got a soul made to sell. Tell you, tell you that it could, I've got a knife, it doesn't sharpen well. I've got a knife, it's got a story to tell. Thanks. You know, I'm Gas Hound. Glad to be here.
Dude, so glad you're here, man. You freaking emit insane amount of energy. I feel like you just went Super Saiyan on us.
That's kind of the whole idea, is to be the conduit.
Yeah, man. I felt it, dude.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, channeled straight through it, dude. That was great, dude. God.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, really incredible performance.
Man, like the tone on that is amazing. I don't know if it's the amp or the pickup that you have on that guitar. But
Yeah,
dude.
this is actually the first time I'm trying this setup out. So you guys were the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a killer. Keep doing this.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It's a cool Supra.
Not to like just nerd out real quick, like what kind of pickup is on that? Did you like custom have that done, or is that part of that guitar? I've never even
It's
seen
in
this.
LR bags.
Okay.
They have like kind of nicer pickups for acoustics. This was an active one.
Okay.
Which it's a super bitch. They have like a little tiny battery that's like way on the back side of this thing, deep in the guitar, so you gotta take the whole thing out. And it's a hell of a thing. But it picks up really well, and then the guitar has some steel strings on it.
Okay.
That help kind of pick up for this specific setup. So from there, it's a little bit more resonant, but it makes the guitar itself a lot quieter when you're not plugged in.
Yeah, right.
So between that and just like the depth of the body, and this is a ladder braced guitar, which is most of the parlor guitars usually are ladder braced. They use it for a lot of old blues guitars and stuff like that. So it tends to kind of like really push a lot of sound through the sound hole, even if they're smaller.
Yeah.
And then this old Supra here is a 65 that I got off my buddy Dave Kurtzless. He's also in a fantastic band, Cicada Rhythm.
Okay. Try to get them on here.
They're really beautiful, yeah. It's a really nice folk band from Athens.
Yeah, dude, your sound is just huge. It doesn't sound like there's just one dude up there.
Nice, thanks.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Just killer guitar player. I first wanted to really kind of ask you about recording at Abbey Road, because that is amazing. You know, I think any person who's ever picked up a guitar or knows anything about music would dream of playing there or just going inside of it.
Sure.
Recording there is even cooler. But I saw you recorded there with a world-renowned Turkish clarinetist. Is that the right way to say that?
Flautist or something?
Some say. No one actually really knows how to say it, but yeah.
A clarinet player.
A clarinet player, yeah. Yeah, how did you
clarinetier.
Come across, because you're obviously in a whole different country. So how did you come across meeting him and then deciding this guy needs to come on my song?
Yeah, so I met him at a record store in London that we were playing just like a short acoustic set. They had a piano there in the shop, and really it was pretty empty just in the middle of the day, so I was kind of busking on the side of the street trying to pull people in. And he happened to have his clarinet school there, and he would just sometimes come down, and I guess, it's like he comes in to check out the shop. So we happened to be there, and I was playing a song on piano and invited him to play. And by the end of this tune that we were kind of just, for our own amusement playing to no one, I was like, we were almost in tears by the end of it. I was like, whoa, that was really heavy, just door of emotion, a glass case of emotion kind of thing. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, this is incredible. I say, thanks so much. And I just knew right then and there. I asked him, I said, hey, can you come to the studio? I'm going to be at Abbey Road. And he goes, I don't speak English. And he had no idea what I was asking him.
Yeah.
So luckily, he speaks a little bit of English. And luckily the manager of the shop was his friend, and he was kind of able to help us work it out on paper, which was funny because we've been playing music for 20 minutes with this fluid language going back and forth, right?
Right.
And then as soon as you bring actual talking into it, we couldn't communicate at all. We were trying to figure it out between our cell phones and writing stuff on paper. And I'm like, you got to be there a week from today at 3:00. And
he shows up and then
he
just
showed
kills
up.
it on the track.
yeah I had 10 shows to play over 8 days, so
Okay.
And I had a show to go to that night, so it was real quick.
Oh,
I just
wow.
had to really trust instinct. The same thing with the cello player that's on that track. I met him the day before. As I was going into the studio, I had a bunch of different chores to do. So I got on the tube. I saw this guy with this huge, cello case, and I went okay, I've been looking for cello. You don't go riding around London unless you can play the shit out of that thing. So I had 2 stops. I sat down, looked him straight in the eye. I said, I need you tomorrow at Abbey Road. I'm going to pay you $200. What's your phone number? And blah, blah. And he was like, wait, what's going on? I'm like, we don't have time for this. You need to be in the studio tomorrow. He's texting me, hey, wait, are you actually? I'm like, I will pay you now. And I just paid him up front a day before.
Yeah, just hope he shows up.
Yeah, so both musicians showed up early, and
hey,
they were great. And then, by the time they rolled in at 3, our stuff was done at 3:50 of whatever I needed them to do. And then we were in the courtyard drinking a Guinness.
Nice.
Nice.
So, yeah, just kind of learn to let go and fall into the moment and just let that moment carry. And that was kind of the whole whole purpose of that tour even.
Yeah. I mean, were they like basically just putting down parts that were made like in the moment?
Yeah, I had sent them the songs, before, but again, like, well, the one guy, Gokon, had only had like a week to listen to it. The other guy had only heard it, the day before. And I wanted them to play live in the room together.
Okay.
So it was like, you guys are going to
Feel
both be in
it.
the room, and then, so yeah, I added some extra parameters that I probably didn't need to make it even harder. But yeah, I just kind of knew that it would work out, and I wanted to set the intention that way.
Yeah.
Like, not be like wavering, just be like a really solid, straightforward intention. This is exactly how this is going to go.
Yeah. 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 Know what they're going to come into and expect. What was it like walking into Abbey Road?
Yeah, it was magical, a little scary. It's like fun to like walk past like tourists and people, and then have this huge like dude at the gate. And I thought I was gonna have to kind of, explain like who I am and what I'm doing there. And he was just like, "Oh, hey man, just go to the office." And I was like, "Oh, okay, all right. Like, you're not even gonna try to kick me out, like." All right.
Doesn't feel as prestigious when you just kind of let me in like that.
yeah. It's like, anybody could have walked in here. Like, how do you even know who I am, man? Do your job better. No, it was great. They took such good care of us, and had a studio runner, Callum. He would just get in, they're like, okay, yeah, we need whatever curry from down the street. He's like running down to get whatever you need and bringing you tea. Or like I said, there's a bar in the middle of the studio, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sometimes they take a break. They call Guinness a pint of the black stuff.
Point of the black stuff.
Fucking love Guinness, so.
Oh man,
I can't do
Is
it.
it like
It's not for me.
Truly like so much better over there.
Yeah, it's good. They don't have to ship it across the ocean, so.
Yeah, water it down a little bit.
Yeah.
So you like even on that tour kind of like filled in. I know like Kyle was saying like you played with him a lot. You kind of seemed to fill in like with bands, like in a variety of roles. Like I literally saw you on Instagram like killing it on organ while also like doing a solo on guitar at this same exact time, so you can play keys and stuff. What's it like? Do you ever get nervous like, joining a new band or like playing with a new person, or is it just really about the moment and just feeding off the energy?
No, I don't really get nerves like that anymore. Yeah, I view like my role as shaman in residence. Like you hire me and I show up and I create the space and we work towards that. It definitely is towards trying to serve a moment and serve a song above all else.
Is there ever like a sound or song that someone's trying to go for that was kind of like your mountain to climb?
In terms of difficulty or like enjoyment?
Yeah, I'd say more
Or
like
both, I
difficulty,
guess.
like the challenge of it.
Yeah, there's often quite a few people that I work with that can throw me some left turns. There's a whole record I worked on with a close friend of mine, Isaac London, on a band called Nuncio, and that was certainly a real challenge. Like, we'd really pushed ourselves to take all of those songs as far as they could go, as far as the composition and arrangement, and I was pulling in string players and horn players, and it led me into bringing in even more horns and stuff like that. So that was interesting, and trying to communicate basic rock knowledge to people that need things that are like written out on staff.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so you're not like, you don't read music or anything like that. You're just like kind of hearing it.
I mostly play by ear. I
Okay.
can read very slowly and treble and some bass clef.
Yeah.
But I'm certainly not proficient at
Are you
it anymore.
kind of like with the George Harrison kind of mindset of like sometimes the theory can be damaging to your creativity?
You know, I've heard that, and I'd love to agree with him in that sense, but I don't think that, like, learning or knowing anything is going to be damaging to your creativity.
It'll,
I
like,
mean, everyone
enhance
is
it.
constantly experiencing life, right? So you can't really turn that off unless you're, non-existent,
Yeah.
sleeping,
Sure, yeah.
right?
I think it's
Or even
more.
when you sleep.
Yeah, I would say it's more of like he was coming from the point of view of people who use theory as like a handbook for like how they should play something and like when they should
Yeah.
play a certain note. So I kind of feel where he's coming from on that, because I think there are people who like think that like, oh, if you play, a note in this key and you play, this note after this note, it sounds better. But like, what if somebody wants to play like a different note? Some people get,
Yeah, you
irked
can
by
kind of
that.
play outside the
Sure,
box and
certainly.
find some cool sounds that way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it just, as a prescription, then yeah, I agree. You don't want to be too prescriptive.
Yeah.
Becomes clinical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
you've been playing forever. How long?
I've been playing about 23 years or so.
Yeah, definitely put that into the 10,000 hours at this point.
Yeah.
Have the Buzzards of Fuzz played their final show?
Yeah, they did.
I'm sorry to hear that. They're a killer, man. Do you think you'll ever do like a reunion kind of thing, or is it?
Yeah, I'm sure that we will, and there's actually a couple of songs that we may release post that show as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was more like just putting a pin on it to open up more bandwidth, more space in our heads for other projects.
Yeah, I get that for sure.
And we had worked that bone pretty hard for like 9 years straight, like touring all over the South and playing tons and tons of shows and different amalgamations of the band.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Which is fun, to be like leave even just for a little weekend warrior stuff, like for 3 or 4 days at a time. But trying to focus up and think about different goals and where everyone's headed.
Yeah, that's important. What's the transition from like playing in a band to solo kind of been like? Like, what's really changed for you?
Not much. I
Huh?
performed for a lot of bands, and so I'm still playing out quite a bit. I just picked up a gig with my buddy Farm Boy. He's got some really cool hip hop tracks, and I've been playing with him for years. So there's something kind of coming up with that, and then like I mentioned earlier, I have this cross-Atlantic collaboration that I've been helping talk with. I still play with Kyle a lot, and then I have another band that plays out live called Black Cat Rising. We're working on new material, and we just released a brand new single this past December, and there's more stuff coming down the line.
Cool. You said Black Cat Rising?
Yeah, it's called Black Cat Rising.
Sick. Might have
Yeah.
to try to get y'all on here.
That band would love to come here.
Sweet. Yeah. I'm always down to hear any new local music for sure. What would you say are your biggest poetic influences? Because you say you're also a poet, so
Yeah, I was really influenced by people like Dylan Thomas or Lawrence Ferlinghetti.
okay.
I actually made it a point the last time I was in San Francisco to take the book over to City Lights bookstore, which is a bookstore that Ferlinghetti started, which is kind of like all beat poets. Was like the home of that generation of writers, Kerouac and
Okay.
other people like that, Allen Ginsberg. So they took a couple of copies on, which meant a lot to me to have it in there.
Yeah, that's super cool. Would you say like do you write like poems separately, or do you feel like they're kind of like interchangeable with your lyrics?
Yeah, sometimes do a lot of writing that's not tied to music, just so it doesn't have the constraints of trying to fit a melody or rhythm around it. But they certainly serve each other.
Yeah.
I get that. Do you see like what you read in poetry kind of leaks its way into your lyrics?
Yeah, it certainly can. It's funny in poetry. It definitely tend to write even more vibrant, but it does filter down into my lyrics. And it seems usually a little bit more difficult, though, to carve out lyrics than it is sitting there and, like, working through a poem.
Yeah. I mean, Knife seems very poetic. It seems like it could have been written as, like, a poem first, like, lyrically.
It was more or less done just early in the morning at a friend's wedding. I think we had been up all night. Sun was coming up, and somebody had a dobro that was in D, just in an open tuning. And I had a slide, and so I was just kind of playing as the sun came up. And then I finished the lyrics while I was driving through the country or something. It just kind of was in my head.
Okay. Like someone put a knife in me.
Yeah. Yeah, I often joke that I have like a knife block in my back, you know.
Yeah.
Just pull one, put another one in.
So you're talking about like touring and stuff in the UK and stuff. What do you think is like the biggest difference of playing in America versus playing in the UK?
In the UK, everyone's very receptive, not to say that people aren't here. But it didn't feel like there was as much friction to get people out to shows. And they all seem to be very, very well versed in their musicology.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So just like some people will come up and talk to you after and start saying references of certain bands or deep cuts, and you're going like, whoa, wow, you guys like listen to all kinds of stuff. It just seemed like a lot of people had a deep appreciation for all kinds of influences.
Nice. Yeah, it's not so radio driven kind of.
How long were you touring over there?
I was there 2 weeks this year and a little closer to like 3 weeks last year.
Oh shit! So do you like go there pretty often in tour? Like,
last year was the first time, and so the goal was to, record at Abbey Road, play all these shows, and we played across the country and played out in Wales. And I was just trying to figure out like how to even do that. So I planned to fly in to London. I went to Camden. I bought a guitar same day, and then like even worked myself into another show that night that wasn't booked. I just showed up to a bar and gave the owner like a record and a book, and was like, "Hey, can I open?" kind of thing.
No, that's fucking sick. Okay, so were you doing any of this with Mama Bear at all, or this is kind of like a separate kind of?
Yeah, we did it together both times. The first time it was like me and Kyle trading like acoustic sets, and sometimes we were backing each other up, and as I mentioned, we were picking up musicians along the way and inviting them to the studio.
This sounds like a musician RPG. It's so sick.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what y'all were doing when you were like not playing music in between.
It definitely felt that way.
Yeah, like
yeah, well,
party member.
Yeah, your energy gets low and you take a potion, or they call it liquor. Yeah.
It sounds fucking awesome.
You're actually the artist of the infamous Mama Bear poster, right?
I commissioned that poster and the one from last year. Yes, yeah. A friend of mine, Jim Bob, he plays in a band called Nomonaut. It's awesome, super cool, kind of mathy, doom sounding stuff. They have this giant paper mache gnome that smokes weed, and they're all controlled by it, and the gnome's like, "You silly humans." So their shows are fantastic, but he's a killer artist, and he's done a ton of show posters for people all around the city. Did a lot of our Blizzards of Fuzz show posters, and I hit him up for the UK and both times. And what's really special about that poster that you have is that every single person that's or anthropomorphic animal there represents somebody that had something to do with the tour.
I thought that was
super
sick
cool.
as fuck when y'all said that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Kyle was telling us that last time. That is so cool.
I'm the Egyptian
creative.
vulture on the ropes. Kind of used to being on the ropes, so It made sense.
I need to get them in Switch just so we can get that edit later. Yeah, it's fucking beautiful, man.
Thank you.
I got a few questions from Kyle, but first I wanted to ask, do you still have that vintage Wurlitzer?
Yes, I do.
You do? Have you recorded anything on it?
Yeah, I have. Not in a while, but yes, I play that Wurlitzer quite often.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sound, man. I'm jealous. How long have you had it, and like, how old actually is it?
It's a 65. It's a student Model A, which is the same model that McCartney used often and liked to play on. I got it from a friend of mine's father who owned a music shop in Hiram, and he just sold it to me real cheap one day. We used to sort of play music together, and I grew up with him, showing me guitar and how to roll a joint and stuff like that. And yeah, exactly. So he was really kind enough to give me that instrument. Except I had like a little Volvo at the time, like an S40, and I was like trying to fit this Wurlitzer in the back seat. Somehow we stuffed it in there, like actually has like like the speaker component to it too. So it's like the whole thing. It's all comes as one.
That's crazy.
And
That's insane, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, it was some like real reverse Tetris, like trying to get it out. We are like, okay, we know how it's stacked in, but how do you get it out of the car?
It's still in it till this day. You just jam inside the car.
yeah. It would have been cool, like those dudes playing on the sidecars and the motorcycles.
Wait, so a Wurlitzer, like we're talking like a organ piano kind of thing, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an electric piano.
Okay.
Yeah, they have like a very pretty sound. You've heard it in a lot of stuff. What's a famous song?
Teenage Wasteland. No. What are you getting in that thing?
I can't
It's
immediately
probably like a
call to a tune,
Glockenspiel
but
or
I'm
something.
sure if you heard it, you'd go, oh, that sound.
Yeah.
There's another or you can call it
like a
Fender
very-
Rhodes. Like I have a Rhodes as well.
Oh, Rhodes.
Bro,
dude,
roads
I
are
love
nice, man.
Rhodes,
That's
yeah.
that's a piece of equipment right there.
Dang.
Yeah, that was a cool one too.
Yeah,
Rhodes,
dude.
Rhodes are
Everybody.
such a prominent sound that they've digitally recreated it in like almost every like software. Like if you get a few of the instruments, like they usually have some kind of like Rhodes imitation, like synthetic synth that you can use.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like to collect different keyboards and things like that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Can I
that's
come
sick.
record an album at your house?
Yeah, I got all the instruments. There's not much to record there, but I'll totally plug every engineer in this city.
What do you do when you're not like plugging in on music? Like any other like hobbies or kind of things? Like if you're not doing music, what would you maybe be doing?
Well, most recently, so I own a wholesale liquor company that's out in San Francisco called West Coast Craft Distributors, and I've created several brands of liquor, one of which is called Cockswallow.
Cock
Swallow?
Like cock
That's correct.
and
It's
swallow.
It's a
Yes.
whiskey?
It's a gin.
Gin.
Yeah.
Mm. Goes down easy.
Yeah, you know, Kyle. You
The
know.
puns write themselves. Keep them coming.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's one too.
Cock swallow. How did that come about?
I started that company with my cousin Brian Lewis, and it literally just came about because we were drinking a bottle of Cotswold gin and misread it. But then it turned into like 2 years of like serious brand and product development.
wait a second.
and-
Yeah, you're like,
This
like
is
wait,
it.
we're onto something.
This is it.
yeah. And so I was getting a call. I was here at the studio earlier because my cousin's over at the distillery and they're working on making the mash for it right now. And the first like official launch, we've done some soft launches of the bottles around the city and stuff like that, and been canvassing all around Oakland, San Francisco, and San Jose, in the North Bay and stuff like that.
That's
Oakland?
cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Niggas are not gonna drink cock swallow, but they may try it. No, that's
Yeah.
what
You gotta go to the
People
like a
been-
university.
Yeah, it's really wild. Like, yeah, everyone always has like a like a huge reaction to it. That was kind of the idea.
it's fucking. That's a great name. Like,
yeah.
and it's gin. So It's gonna get mixed.
No, yeah, for sure.
It's only served as a double shot.
Yeah,
Nice.
you know, this is actually, you can sip it, you can put it on ice. It's pretty wild. It's a West Coast style gin with the juniper dialed way down, and then use
Okay.
hearts from the still.
Has,
So-
has a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
What's the next batch gonna be called, or like the next
Next brand.
Brand,
we
yeah,
have,
yeah.
we have
Different
different brands that we're working on. There's one called For Fuck's Sake, or For Fuck's Sake.
Okay.
That's
I
actually
like
So,
it.
I think that'll be fun. I
Yeah.
think the next bottle that I'll actually get it out though is called Poison Dart vodka.
Poison Dart? Okay.
Yeah. You like, yeah.
Because it kills you and you regret everything when you drink
yeah,
vodka.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's sort of like making fun of vodka while also making one.
Yeah.
That was the idea.
What's your favorite liquor?
I'm not very picky, but you know, I like a good
it's
single
wet.
malt, and yeah, I like
Yeah.
single malt and whiskey, and I drink a lot of mezcal.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get my way around a few bottles. I had to do a lot of product research to get to where I'm at. Right
Right.
now, right?
yeah. Like you're like, I don't complain at this point. I just make it. So you do the math.
yeah. Or I contract distilled with a master maker because I was like, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
Like,
sick.
He put in as many hours into the still as I put into the guitar. So,
How so why is it over in like San Francisco and stuff? Why not here?
kind of researched different markets all across the country, and it seemed like that would be a good place to start and pin it. There's a lot of different reasons for that, because here in Georgia too, we're kind of grandfathered into different distributors that will only buy at a certain price, and it's difficult to take like something local and get it through those distributors. And over in California, you can apply to become a distributor. So that's the process I went through this past year. It was like a 10-month process of getting the licensure.
Damn.
So it's like one of the things that I've been working on. I do like construction, and I've built a bunch of stuff around the house. I built this big garage mahal thing where all those organs and stuff live.
Okay.
So I get my way around,
No, that's
You
sick.
can
dude.
do
You
more with your hands than just.
I love cooking. That was a big thing too. Like on tour, I'd ask for places to stay and then go cook people dinner and stuff
Oh,
like
that's
that.
cool. Yeah, that's an awesome trade-off.
Yeah.
You want to stay tonight?
Hey man. Yeah. Well, see, I got the liquor. I
Hey,
can cook. Yeah, you're kind of seeing the whole picture.
more than welcome.
We'll show you some
I'm
ditties
starving.
Yeah.
All right, I got just a few questions from Kyle before we wrap this up. He asked if you could collaborate with any musician from history, who would it be? Tuffy. And who gets snubbed?
Oh man. Man, I'd love to collaborate with like Nina Simone
Okay.
or someone like that. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I'd love to collaborate with Robbie Robertson, despite his stuff with the band and everything. I think he's a fantastic composer and writer. There's definitely a handful of people I'd appreciate playing with.
Right. Is there like a person you have collaborated? I know that's like hard to ask, but person you have collaborated with that you're like, man, I really cannot wait for the next one.
Oh, like excited to work on the next thing with him?
Yeah.
Kyle Gordon.
Heck yeah.
Obviously,
Shout
he
out
set me up
Kyle.
for it.
Yeah.
No, I love playing with Kyle. I'm really excited for all of his new Mama Bear stuff that he's working on. And again, I'm really excited for this sort of UK collaboration that we got going on with Takashi, the drummer. He's been basically taking all of the different songs from people that we played with on this past tour, and they're sending us over tracks, and then we're rearranging them and like building them out, and it's been really fun to send stuff, across the Atlantic.
Hell yeah. What utensil can you live without? And Kyle said you better not say knife.
Spork.
A spork, yeah.
Solid
That's a good
answer.
question.
Solid
You've been asked this before.
Yeah, of course. I get asked that at least twice a day. Come on.
Can't eat cock swallow with a spork.
Hey, knife guy, what utensil can't you live without?
Yeah. I mean, you know which utensil I like the most.
And also, was that the last one? That might have been the last one. I think that was the last one from Kyle.
Okay.
But before we wrap it up completely, we like to always like give like a little shout out. Thanks. You can plug whatever you'd like. So
Yeah, anyone you want to plug
Yeah.
or any shout outs?
Yeah, sure. I'll just go through all the stuff again. Shout out to my buddies Colin and Henrik and Black Cat Rising, all the buzzards. Buzzards don't die, so it shall return at some point.
maybe on the streamboat.
Could be the resurrection of the fuzz. Shout out to my wife and my son. I have a 3-year-old son, Ezra. And Christopher Sampson. He's really the whole reason why we even made it to the UK twice now. Besides Ian Marsh and Ange Marsh, who are over there in Wales. Shout out to all the UK people. And thanks for having me on the stream boat.
Heck
Hell
yeah.
we appreciate
Heck
you.
yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Floating along.
Got to bring cock swallow to Georgia. It's next move, right?
It's coming.
Hell yeah. It's
It's
literally
coming.
Wait for that one.
Well, I always got to say a big thanks to Glenn Son for making us sound good. And Jason Joestar for being in the chat, keeping us on track.
Of course, y'all don't forget to smash like, hit subscribe, and ring that bell.
Oh, for
Helps us
sure.
make a better show for you.
For sure.
Oh, Charlie on the camera today? Yeah, freaking killed it. Jake here just producing
Yeah.
and making us always look good.
Making us
We
look
got Kyle
professional.
switching it up back there and Ryan helping as always. But anything that you guys want to say before we get out of here?
We appreciate y'all, man. And Gas Hound, really incredible music. I really appreciate you coming on.
Cool. Appreciate being here. Thank you for having me.
Dude, thank you.
Thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all next time.
Hope to have
See
you
you next
back,
Saturday.
man.
All right. Cheers.
Awesome show, dude. Awesome show.
How almost is gin suddenly?
See what follows and what comes after.
I really want my pain to release me.
And I can feel what's held over me.
Their talk is static.
I try to fight it now. I'm back in my head.
Put a whole 30 in rubber bands. Now I got time for the running man.
Goodbye to the frogman.
Juice like a Tesla, slamming down shots, got me feeling like a wrestler.
Hey, where do we go now? The lights are, the love is gone.
I tell you anything you want, just rub my back the way you do.
I done seen it all. Shots fired, cops, sirens, dog. I done seen it all.
Automatic, boo, I steer the coupe like it was manual.
So not in Kansas anymore.
Hey, we don't care, we don't care, we don't care. Big gun shooting in the air.
I slammed the door. Yeah, but you love, you wanted more.
I'm always gonna place on my mama, put that on my name. Now we is not the same.
Over and over and over and over. I watch this the opposite speak out, yo.
Always be the same. You gotta live with no regrets.
Handcuffed together, lights dancing there in charge.
The open air is choking me.
And when it's flowing down space,
None of this matters anyway. Whoa, oh.
now what happened? Lights, camera, action.
Bye.